Hey, happy Monday, everybody. It's Ron Hoon getting ready for the return of one Celeste Rodriguez in about 4 minutes. Just wanted to say hi to everybody who's already online. Take a look at Thomas Favela. He is definitely one of our wittiest commentators, and he says, "Good morning, Celeste, and Ty, and Ron, Des, Danielle, Anita, Big D. We love it." Burger Boy's already on. Crazy Train is on, saying good morning, all. This is great. We so appreciate you guys. So thanks for hanging out with us. We got 2 great hours coming your way. Even if you didn't get it, see that picture on your screen right now? I mean, there were places that were full on dealing with one of these haboobs, one of these desert walls of dust that we are so famous for. And I think that's probably a pretty good sign that we are perhaps headed into some cool monsoonal activity. And I do mean cool. We're 10 degrees cooler this morning than we were at this same time last Thursday and Friday. So Crystal's going to join us, the one and only Crystal Ortiz, our super smart meteorologist, to tell us what to expect later today as time goes on. We've got all that coming up. Plus, we've got one of the top polling experts in Arizona going to join us to talk about the big races. And TMZ, they are blowing the lid off the Mitch McConnell photo that got released to try to quiet down all the speculation, but now it's only raising more questions. Anyway, here we go. Thanks for hanging out with us. Be sure to let a couple of friends know what we're all about here at Fox 10 Talks. Have them join the conversation, too. We'll be right with you. Well, hey, everybody. Yeah, that's right. It is 10 o'clock, and we are glad you're hanging out with us because we are going to get the very latest sort of an hour. But Crystal Ortiz is so good. She's so smart about everything weather-related that she can give us that hour-by-hour look at what likely might be coming our way. And we do have some video highlights for you as well here on Fox 10 Talk. So let me tell you what else is coming up this morning. Let me just get right on over to our graphics page. So we go from that. Here we go. to this. TMZ is raising some serious questions. You know, it's not just TMZ. It's a lot of people online, these internet sleuths that are out there to take a look. We've got that picture for you in a little while. We're going to show it to you. We're going to talk to TMZ and let you decide whether you think this is a doctored photo in the age of AI or whether it's real. It does appear to be him in the hospital bed from just over the weekend. But also what to know about those Trump accounts, because I'm going to tell you what, there are a lot of other parents that are starting to set them up for their kids. And if you haven't done it yet, you might want to think about it. We're going to bring an expert on maybe the pitfalls to avoid and what you need to know, the power of time. You know, you set your kids or grandkids up now when they're 1 or 2 or 3 years old. Wait till you see what happens by the time they're about 25. And then I'm going to be asking Celeste, what's your comfort movie? Do you have one, Celeste? By the way, there's a familiar voice, ladies and gentlemen. Celeste joins. Celeste, hello. Where have you been all of our lives? I feel like you haven't been. Life? Well, I feel like I haven't worked with you in a month and a half. What's happening?
No, because you were on vacation and then I was on vacation. It's vacation season.
Yes, I've heard about this, right?
It's like during those summer
I don't even know where you went. Where did you go?
We kind of just did a couple of different smaller trips. Like we were in California for a little bit.
Oh, yeah?
And then we were here. And, I did a lot of stuff at home. I nested, actually, for several days.
Did you? Okay,
I did a lot of cooking. I cleaned, reorganized, that type of stuff.
I made the best bowl of spaghetti you'll ever taste in your life. Last night.
Gosh, did you bring me some?
No, but darn. I shot some video, so you'll get to later. I'll post it. But, hey, let's get right to the highlight of this first 15 minutes. Here she is, everybody. Hi, Crystal.
Wait a minute. I made amazing food. I did not bring it, but I shot video. Video.
Give that to us, Crystal.
It's 2026.
Well, you know what? If we're going to talk what we made yesterday, I actually made a bunch of chorizo breakfast burritos for the kids for the week.
Oh.
I have video of that, Ron. You should have told me we were showing off our kitchen, duties.
We need a permanent camera in your kitchen, first of all. There's like a brainstorm. You know, we always say we come up with great ideas here on Fox 10 Talks, and we leave it to you. In this case, I hope one of our bosses. We have a lot of bosses.
We do.
But I hope one of them is listening right now. Let's get a permacam in Celeste.
Oh my gosh, the pressure to keep your kitchen perfectly clean if you had a camera in there all the time. That is my nightmare.
Actually, I think it's okay that it's dirty.
Okay, great.
You know what I mean? I'm like, hey, I got dirty dishes in my sink right now.
Yeah. Here I thought it was such a good idea.
Okay, it's not a bad idea, but my brain immediately was like, oh my gosh.
No, it's good, Crystal. You are the common sense person. We're kind of out to lunch, so to speak.
We're the more creative, crazy types.
Okay, so Crystal, we started with this first graphic right here because, it's interesting. The metro area is so huge that if you wanted to drive from, say, Santan Valley, our newest city, out to Surprise, and you did it in 5 o'clock traffic, it would take you a good 2 hours. Yeah. We have 5 million people living here, and so I'm out in Mesa. I know you're in the East Valley. Celeste is Central City. But out there in the West Valley, that was a clearly defined haboob, or what do you like to call it? Do you call it a haboob?
Is fine, dust storm. I mean, they got a good hit yesterday. Of course, we had the warnings, the alerts that went out. Yeah. And we were expecting this. We forecasted last week that like Saturday evening, possibly Sunday, even more likely, and that's exactly what we saw, right? Was that we had some action Saturday, even more action on Sunday. Right. Some of us got rain.
Just like you said, by the way.
Yes. Yeah, phew.
It's not like you to say I told you so, but I'll do it.
Thanks. And then we've got the potential for more throughout the entire week, Ron.
Wow.
That's exciting. Yeah. I think we need it after last week. I think so many of us are thinking, my goodness, it was hot last week.
Yes.
113 for I want to say 4 days in a row it was. I'd have to check, but I think it was 4 days in a row that we hit 113, which we were talking about this in the makeup room, but sure, we've hit 118 or 119 before, but 113 still felt pretty hot last week.
I was walking out of the gym this weekend and I'm like, man, it just, By the way, all of these pictures, I like kind of referencing them when we pop them on the screen. That's from Marie, and she's
beautiful
like,
shots.
Here's what it actually reminded me of that mega one that we had last year. How about this guy? This is Ab Abdul from over there at Amazon.
Wow.
And it says inside the Amazon facility, but it's out there. It looks like the West Valley really got hit with a lot of this.
Yeah, no kidding. You know, it's interesting too when you mentioned the heat, Crystal. There's some people who moved here because they like and don't mind the heat.
Yeah, you sort of have to be ready.
Yeah, like a lot of Michiganders. You know, if you love the heat, you don't like the heat. What's your perfect temp? Throw it in the chat. You know, we would love to hear from you and kind of share what you guys have to say. Especially, of course, did you catch that morning sunrise?
So pretty
this morning?
Yeah, Tom Fergus posted a photo. It was beautiful.
Okay, I need to go post one. I did actually pull over and grab a quick shot. But anyway, Crystal, let's get to the action here. After last night, everybody wants to know what's coming our way.
Yeah, so the good news is that those that did not get the rain or only got enough to make their car absolutely filthy, there is more rain in the forecast to come. Not right now. Right now, we're in the kind of lull period. And in fact, I explained this a little bit on air, but because of the fact that we had clouds and showers through this morning in the valley, I think that will impact our storm, like stronger storm potential later today some. It doesn't completely like thwart it, but I always reference that it's kind of like we're charging our battery. So if you wake up in the morning and it's bright and sunny and gets hot nice and quick, then you're energizing that atmosphere. So all you need, you've got like all this energy, all you need is that match to light the flame of storms across the valley. But for us, that match might be a little harder to come by today, and then once it arrives, we might not have quite as much energy in the atmosphere because it's still kind of cloudy out there right now. Still to be said, there's a chance for some storms, so take a look. We're very humid, so we've got all the moisture that we need. Sometimes we're like a little moisture deprived, and it makes it hard for us to have storms. Not the case this week. We have so much. I mean, it's humid out there. It's humid in the building, so it's humid outside for sure. Our current dew point 63, which means we're in that muggy kind of scale. Earlier this morning, we were almost teetering on like what felt like tropical conditions. We don't have tropical moisture, but it just feels that way when we get dew points this high. And this is what's happening. This is what's causing all of that moisture. Is there's this big area of high pressure that's centered up in like the north central parts of the country, and it's wrapping moisture around it. This is like in the meteorological community, we call this the ring of fire. So areas of high, I know, right? Good phrase.
Celeste, you catch that? Are you scared now?
I'm shaking in my heels.
The ring of fire.
Right? So when you have this dome of high pressure, usually right beneath it, it gets hot and it stays dry. But on the outer edge of it, moisture wraps around it and it usually allows for storms to trigger. And we happen to be right on that edge. So we're pumping in moisture, but it's not just a today thing. As you can see, that green is over us all week long. Now, the area of high pressure does start to shift more over the Rockies by end of work week, but that's the more traditional setup for our monsoon high. So that drives in even more ample moisture from the south by the time we get to the end of the work week, which again is why we've got this like consistent chance for storms day after day after day. So here's the future cast for the rest of today, guys. As we go through the clock, this is the morning, but this is the afternoon. Now notice the model starts to fire off those storms at the higher elevations, northeast and like southeast first. Very typical with the way the moisture's coming in. Remember that it's coming in kind of directly from the east southeast. So it's kind of running up the higher elevations and triggering those storms. And then those storms in traditional monsoon pattern start to run down the mountainsides and race towards the valley. Now, A, they have to be strong enough to hold together getting to the valley. And B, again, our battery needs to be charged enough to kind of fire some of those storms. So that's where there's a little bit of a question mark. And that's why I'm putting it only at a 20% chance for storms late this afternoon and into tonight. But you can see this model does show a few showers passing the valley here at around 5, 6 o'clock and a couple more spotting on the outer edge of the valley through about 9 o'clock before things calm overnight. We start tomorrow, though, drier and more clear. And if that's the case, then you've got a little higher likelihood that these storms that fire again to the north and east may actually pass right through the valley, as you see there, by tomorrow evening. So tomorrow chance is about 30%. May need to up that even to 40% as we watch the models trending into tomorrow. And then finally, we'll wrap it up here. As a reminder, not just today, but I think through most of this work week, there's going to be the traditional threats that you get with storms during the monsoon. So some gusty winds, some blowing dust, some lightning. But we do have this Weather Prediction Center puts out each day this outlook of where across the country there's at least a low chance for flash flooding. And all of Arizona is under that lowest threat, isolated flash flood. So any heavier storms could produce some flooding. That happened yesterday in southern Arizona. We had some flood alerts. So just a reminder to not drive through the flooded roadways and to be weather aware. We've got our weather app online and everything, but we're in it now. We're in the monsoon pattern, so
we are.
Busy week ahead.
And we've got a double digit in the middle of the 10-day, right, Crystal? 99 degrees.
The forecast high 99 on Friday, which should be awesome.
Hey, before we let you go, I just thought we'd involve you in this convo. Did you know that today is Embrace Your Inner Geekness Day?
Ooh, I like that.
Every day for me, baby.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a list of apps on your phone that prove you have an inner geekness.
Okay, good.
Let's try a few of these. If you have any type of bird identification app,
Oh my gosh, that's
you
brilliant.
are a geek.
That's brilliant, actually. Yes.
That is so funny.
Okay, then there's one called Picture This, which you could use to identify every plant in your neighbor's yard.
Oh yeah.
Then you're a
That's
geek.
good.
There's another one called Speed Test, so that you test your Wi-Fi for every building that you walk into. The Wi-Fi is a little bit low.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Now here are
Excuse me, sir.
the rest of these I have on my phone.
Oh, okay. Let's hear
So I'm going to call myself out. Flight Radar 24.
Oh yeah, I have that
Do you
one.
have that one too?
Yeah,
I don't have that.
I mean, I'm looking up in the sky. I'm like, well, that looks like a new plane.
Yeah.
Right? So
Check
I
it
do
out.
like that one. Marine traffic, even though we live in the desert, we're thousands of miles away from other parts of the world. You want to see ships moving around?
Oh, like battleships.
Yes, exactly. And then I bet you might have this one, and I have it too. I rarely go to it, but it's called Windy, so you know which way the wind is blowing. It has little arrows that go this way.
Is it the one that just is the map, the stream flows all over it?
No, it's arrows. Little
Oh, arrows. Interesting. I haven't
So
seen this.
That would actually be brilliant for photographers in the field, so they know what direction to face to put you,
So that the reporters
Yeah, the
there.
reporters
Yeah.
there. Yeah. So you got the little Beyonce fan blowing.
One last thing. Apparently, you're a geek if you know your battery's percentage right now. Celeste, what's your battery at? What do you? Don't look, guess.
I'm guessing maybe it's like 80. I don't know.
Okay. Now let's see what it actually is.
What is it? Let's see.
I think I'm at about 95.
Mine
moment
is
here.
mine's
Get the specs
50.
on.
Mine's actually 56.
Oh, girl.
Celeste, I just guessed my battery's at 95. Go ahead, tell everybody what.
It's 95.
You didn't cheat?
We'll be.
Oh, I don't want to be that. Thank you, Crystal.
Thanks, guys.
All right, welcome back, everyone. And that is a quick look at your mystery camera. We'll have it back up at 10:30 this morning, but that's a little bit of a preview for you. We were just talking weather, Ron.
Yeah, we were.
And I have a comment this morning from Sarah Chavez.
Nice.
We're talking about perfect temperatures. This is a perfect shot right here, so we're going to leave it up for you. It's a pretty day here in this mystery city. Sarah Chavez says, perfect temp in Arizona is under 100, but I love the semi-cloudy, breezy beach weather. That is the best. West. And I think Jennifer said there's a couple of others that say, she says, I'm from Michigan, and since I've moved here, I found that I'm good until it gets past 105.
That's the number. We all have our number.
Yeah. 105 is a pretty popular number.
Yeah, it does get toasty after that. That is for sure. Hey, look at this. So we follow up Crystal Ortiz, our favorite weather person in the world, with our favorite political pollster.
That's right.
Mike Noble, Noble Predictive Insights.
Hey, good to see you both on here.
Yeah, welcome back.
And by the way, I resonate with Jennifer. I'm from Wisconsin originally. So, yeah. So once you get past 105, that's when I start feeling it, at least
it's like hot, right?
Yes.
So how did you survive last week when we're over like 110s or whatever?
Well, you just don't go into direct sunlight. That's right. Yeah.
Right? Keep those shades pulled in the house.
Correct. Yeah.
Sure.
So did you have, because that's my experience too. I grew up in Washington, and with each cold year I said, someday Arizona is going to be from. Did you have those kind of days too, where you're like, I got to move to the sun?
Oh, I got like kidnapped coming out here. But basically, I've absolutely loved it, though. I grown up here and, of course, go back to Wisconsin, but I will never move back there. So I'm an Arizonan through and through. So.
All right,
yeah.
Cool. So,
and you know a lot about Arizona, kind of in your industry. You know, I mean, studying the politics and the numbers and everything like that.
Grew up here.
Let's start with like the governor race and what you've kind of learned thus far.
Yeah. So the state of the governor's race. So it's a race to be the CEO of the state of Arizona, so the executive officer, and essentially Katie Hobbs is the Democrat incumbent right now. She has no primary candidate. There's no one going against her, and so it's all the actions on the Republican side right now. And as you can see in our latest poll, this race is pretty much over right now. I mean, Andy Biggs, congressman in Arizona, he's at 60% of the vote if the election were held today, which is pretty wild, frankly, this far out. And then David Schweiker, another congressman, his main competitor, at 10%. And then Scott Neely and Kevin McGeely basically barely have a pulse when it comes to this race. So right now it's Andy Biggs basically. I'm probably not going to pull the race again because I think, frankly, this race is pretty much a done deal for Andy Biggs to be the Republican nominee.
But you have done some polling in advance, right? Looking at what it would look like in a general?
Yeah, no, absolutely. We've probably done 4 polls on it. We've been tracking the general election, the governor's race in general for about a year and a half.
What's that looking like?
It's Katie Hobbs currently has the advantage, and she's winning in any given matchups. I mean, she does better against Schweiker than Biggs, but Biggs is likely to come out. Biggs is down about 6 points, roughly 5 to 6 points when he matches up to Katie Hobbs. Also, Hobbs has about $6 million cash on hand, so she has a lot of money compared to Biggs. I think Biggs only has about $1 million or so she has about a 5-to-1 cash advantage. And finally, is that she also has good favorability numbers. So like Hobbs is in a good position, and what's even more wild about the race is that Republicans have about an 8-point advantage in this state. I mean, they have a real built-in advantage. So, Republicans vote Republican, Democrats vote Democrat, and they battle for the folks in the middle. I mean, they have a sizable advantage of having an 8-point advantage, but yet Hobbs is still ahead in these general election matchups.
So it's going to be a fight for the middle for independent votes.
Oh, yeah. It has been for the last decade when it comes to Arizona's general elections. I mean, you can't win by running a base strategy only. You can't just play to the liberals or to the conservatives here. I mean, you have to play to those all-important moderate voters in the middle.
And a lot of those voters, do you find that they're issue-based voters? And what are some of the most important issues, I guess, that Arizonans are concerned about?
Yeah, so when you look at the moderate middle or that swingy electorate decide the general election, they really care about things that impact them the most. So they care most about inflation or pocketbook issues right now. Affordable housing is actually their number one.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you look at the cost in the last 4 years, Arizona housing values have gone up 50%. And that's great if you own a home, but if you don't own a home, it's not very good if you're trying to get into one. So the cost of living has really increased for them. So mainly pocketbook, and then secondarily, I'd say healthcare. They care more about the costs on that side, and then a little bit farther down, immigration. But immigration's really gone to the wayside because, again, it's more the economic pain points right now.
How would you say President Trump is potentially going to impact this race. I mean, he's a strong supporter of Andy Biggs. Andy Biggs, by the way, also with TPUSA, based here in town. So that's a kind of a 1-2 punch on the conservative side. And he is he won the state of Arizona a couple of years ago, but I know his numbers have been dropping, yes?
Yeah, I mean, with him, Trump's endorsement, it just matters. Are you talking about the primary or the general election?
Yeah, the general, once we get there.
So in the primary is the best endorsement you get. In the general, I think it's a massive liability right now because you look at Trump's job approval rating just in the state of Arizona is at -17. He won the state by 5.5 points. And now people say, hey, how is that job we voted for you to do? He's now at -17. I mean, that's a 22-point difference of where that was. And what's worse is that that's his overall job approval. When you ask about, hey, how's his handling of the economy? It's -27. I mean, that's abysmal. So, like, when it comes to the general election, I think it absolutely is an anchor on Republicans right now, electorally. It's hard to get really enthusiastic when you're really feeling the pinch economically. But when then you look at nationally, Trump, for example, I think, Pew Research put out some numbers recently where they've been tracking for many decades. And you compare Trump to all the previous presidents up till, like, Dwight D. Eisenhower, and Trump is literally performing worse than anybody else of his predecessors at this point in time. For job approval. So again, he's not doing great, and I don't know, the latest news on the Strait of Hormuz being closed again for the 30th time. It's going to increase gas prices.
You can keep me track 30 now.
Yeah, I know. It was like 26, 27.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's tough for any president too in the middle of a war, right? Do the numbers show that I think George W. Bush was the only one after 9/11 that really his approval rating skyrocketed because the country came together, and so it's very difficult.
Yeah, when you get ambushed and attacked and you're the guy rallying, the folks say, hey, we're going to go get those bad guys. Sure, your numbers go up. But the difference was Trump ran on a platform of being an isolationist, right?
Yeah.
No more forever wars, none of these forever. We're not going to get involved in the Middle East. That's a bunch of garbage over there. And what has happened? He's created more wars than I think any president in many decades. But also, he's basically created now a forever war. It appears to be against one of the most religious, fanatical groups, which is the country of Iran. And again, that controls the Strait of Hormuz, where more than 20% of the world's oil supply goes through.
Yeah. All right, let's shift back to local.
All right, let's do it.
CD1, Congressional District 1. Where do you want to start? On the Republican side or the Democrats?
Yeah, I mean, the Republican side I think is probably a little bit easier. You have Jay Feely, who's the former Arizona Cardinals kicker. He's currently, he has Trump's endorsement in that race. And then you have Joseph Chaplik, who's been a longtime state legislator, conservative, but he doesn't have Trump's endorsement. And Jay Feely also put out some big numbers recently on his fundraising. He outraised everybody else in the field by a significant amount. I think he raised over $700,000 in one quarter.
And yet, on the Democratic side, I watch these ads and I think, are you telling me that all three Democrats are MAGA Republicans? I mean, that's what those ads look like. Each person, they're trying to portray them as over here, friends of Trump, et cetera. How's that one? That's, let's see, Marlene Gallant, Woods, Amy Shaw. So, and there's a third candidate.
There's a third candidate, but it's really between Shaw and
those
Woods.
two.
Yeah.
How's that looking?
Well, it's interesting because that race, the DCCC, the Democrat Congressional, the campaign arm for the Democrats, they actually got involved in that race where they're actively supporting Marlene Galen Woods, which is really interesting. So they've been coming out, helping out. I mean, with that story, it's been a bit of a black hole. Amish Shah, he was the nominee the last 2 times, and tens of millions of dollars were dumped in that race. So he has some pre-built-in name ID, but he also hasn't won the last 2 times. So I think it's going to be incredibly close. And frankly, we'll see which way it goes, but it'll be between one or the other right there. And if Galen Woods does not win, I think it's a big black eye for the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee.
I got to call you out on that. It's Gallant. Marlene Gallant Woods. You know why?
Because you worked with her. She worked in TV.
I anchored with her at another TV station like 35 years ago.
Yeah.
By the way, we've invited her to come on the show.
And she still looks amazing.
She still does.
Let's transition, if we can, to the State Department of Ed. ESA is a big issue for a lot of Arizona families. I think there's a couple of propositions potentially before Arizonans. Your thoughts on that race?
The superintendent of public instruction, outside the governor's race, I actually think that's one of the most interesting interesting races of the bunch in there because you have two heavyweights in there. Kimberly Yee, who's been a longtime Republican, elected in the state legislature, plus in the statewide offices. You have her, and then of course Tom Horn, who's older than all of us combined, and then currently has been in the state. Like, he's up for re-election, and so. And by the way, I know Tom. He's actually a great human being. I like him, but he is old. And so, anyway, so you have those two kind of competing against each other.
Yeah.
And so right now, I actually think, that'll be tough, but I think there'll be a slight edge to Kimberly Yee right now. But
is that right?
again, we'll see. On this race, they both raised a good amount of money.
Mm-hmm.
Again, both had stuff. It's just I think Horn's campaign went a little negative against Yee, and we'll see how kind of that shapes out. But right now, that race is, I think, pretty competitive, pretty interesting. And anyways, we'll know here in about, 2 weeks, roughly.
Yeah, I mean, they had that controversial ad that was on television.
Oh,
I think you were
yes,
on
right.
when it
No,
first
I heard
when
about
it
it
was
for sure.
debuted, but
Yeah.
it's no longer
Can we
on there.
squeeze in the attorney general's race?
Yeah, so
and do either Republicans that are running for this have a chance against Chris Mays?
What's interesting is that, Chris Mays, I think of the Democrats out there, I mean, outside of maybe Hobbs and Adrian Fontes, I'd say Mays is the other good Democrat out there, like knows how to kind of run a good operation, right? She's done a good job of not stepping in it. And so I think the advantage goes to Mays a little bit in the general election. But right now, I think actually Warren Peterson has the advantage in that race against Rodney Glassman. Because you look at Warren Peterson has won races. Not only that, he's been a Republican forever compared to Rodney Glassman. Remember, he used to be the Democratic nominee for U.S. Senate when he took on John McCain. Yeah, he was nominee for U.S. Senate, and he ran to be the Democrat state chairman twice and lost.
Wow.
Okay.
And so that's kind of tough. It's very hard for someone to be on a different political party and then run on the other side of the aisle and say, hey, I'm one of you guys. I'm like,
Kind of
well,
like Chris Mays. I mean, she was a Republican for a long
she
time.
was, but just politically, I think she's a little smoother than Rodney Glassman.
Yeah. You guys have looked into the propositions as well, having to do with the ESAs?
Yeah, we're going to poll on them in a few weeks because they just made the ballot because those were under some contention, right? So we heard about them about a week or so ago, so we haven't had a chance to, but we poll in probably a few weeks, so we'll add those and get some initial.
Come back and see us on that.
Yeah, but I think ESAs right now, I've done lots of polling in general on the topic.
Let's chat with you about that in a quick second. Can you hang with us for just a couple minutes? We have a break to get to.
Yes, only if you have snacks.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, snacks. Ron, dig in your merce.
Yeah. Let's see.
Where's the snacks?
Well, for that we go to Big D, but he's not even in his chair. Oh, he's going to get snacks.
Yeah, he's getting the snacks.
Circle K is only 3 blocks away, Dave. Mystery Cam.
Yeah, is that okay?
Were they not? Were they?
But I mean, obviously.
Celeste, are we seeing any guesses yet for the mystery cam?
So we do have a few guesses. We have B. Miguel with a Canada. Actually, a few of them.
Okay.
Louis Gonzalez with a Canada as well. And I think they're on to something because I recognize the Ferris wheel.
Do you really? Okay, and I recognize they have. I also know this city, so I'm going to disqualify myself.
Okay.
They have their own version of the Space Needle, and when I was in this city a couple of years ago, rented an RV to go up into the mountains.
Okay, I'm trying to remember. I remember you did this.
Yeah, it's really quite beautiful. So go ahead, Celeste. Tell us what the answer is.
Oh, here it is.
Yep.
Let me bring it on up. Here is your mystery camera answer, and it is Calgary.
Yeah.
Calgary. Is there someone named Gary who's in office?
Maybe so. Gary, your husband would love this town because people who are from there, we all say Calgary, but if you know somebody who's from there, they're like Calgary.
Calgary.
But anyway, see, they have their own version of the Space Needle, and sure enough, they have the glass floor. So don't go up there if you have a fear of heights.
You know, I threw this in the chat. I said, share your thoughts with us on what are some of the most important political issues that are concerning you as we get on into this next election season. I do have a comment here from Shelley Vidal. She says, I think you guys don't understand Republicans because I still think, and I believe she's talking about President Trump, he's doing a great job, and if it wasn't for Democrats, he'd be doing an even better job. And here's the thing about the chat, I think that makes it so great, is that you can share your thoughts in a respectful manner, like Shelley did.
Right.
And then someone on the other side can share their thought on what they think is happening, and we can all do so respectfully.
There you go, Celeste.
Yeah.
That's why we call it the friendliest chat online. Hey, before we wrap up with Mike, we have one more topic you wanted to get into.
Yeah, let's get to ESAs. You all have looked into them, Mike.
Yeah, I've pulled them over the years.
Yeah, your thoughts on kind of them and kind of where we stand now with a couple of these issues in front of voters.
Well, a couple of things we know about Arizona voters and their position on ESA. One is they absolutely do like the choice of it, like, hey, having the option to use ESAs, right? So if it was like, hey, just public schools and no ESAs, they don't like that. They like the option of having it. What they also want is security on it. They don't like the fraud aspect of it. They don't like people taking advantage of the system. Also, most of the electorate doesn't like it that, let's say, it benefits, like if you, let's say, make, I don't know, over $200,000 or so a year, it's like, well, why do you need to get subsidized for your education? Like, you can literally afford that. So why would we need to pay for that? So I think they're against that. But they also think public schools, though, that we shouldn't just ditch that, that we should keep public schools, but they think that they have to do a lot better, not just throw money at the problem, that they need to fix it more structurally, the issue with it, with education, because there's so much waste that goes on.
Well, a lot of it goes to the administration.
Well, that's where the problem is.
Costs, instead of funding maybe what's happening in the classroom, maybe paying teachers more.
Correct. I mean, so much gets stuck in that, like, kind of in that management or bureaucratic thing where the money or the resources actually get into the teacher is a fraction of the money they get that actually gets to teachers, which I think is kind of ridiculous.
You are a wealth of information. I should have invited you, Mike, to come on. I'm Celeste, look at this. I've got a live preview of the primary vote.
Yes.
Coming up tomorrow I think that's from 12:30 to 2, something like that. 12:30 to 1:30. All right, Dave. And we'll be live with
That's
that
amazing.
on the Fox Local app.
Yeah,
so.
Mike, thank you so much for coming in.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And you'll have to have, next time you do something like this, Ron, you'll have to have Mike in.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You are absolutely a wealth of information, my friend.
I think you guys have me for election night, too. So
good.
Election night. So.
Hey, by the way, let me see if I can get to today's... Oh, you know what? Let's do. Yeah, the poll question. Let me go. Here we go. Okay. So there are a lot of buttons in this room.
There are a lot of buttons.
Should there be a mandatory age limit for elected politicians? This comes after the death of Lindsey Graham in his 70s, after the Mitch McConnell situation, which we are live in 1 minute with TMZ to discuss. And so, 76% of you were saying, yes, aggressively enforce a mandatory age limit. We didn't put a number on there, but the number you see floating around a lot is 80. Because there are a lot of 80-year-olds kind of running the show up on Capitol Hill.
And Lindsey Graham, was he 71?
71.
Yeah, so I still consider that fairly young.
Thank you, Celeste.
71 degrees.
And here's the other thing about even putting an 80. I'm in my 60s.
Yeah.
I figure I'm going to work for about 20 more years.
Thank you, Ron.
And then I'm going to run for office.
Because
so this 80, you can't run now if you're 80. I'm like, I'm going to put the kibosh on that. Come on, Dave. You can't see me running for office.
For president.
Yeah, no kidding.
There you go.
I mean,
All I
look
want
at
is to be the mayor of Mesa.
President Trump's near 80.
He
is 80. That's right.
I think that happened while you were on vacation. Anyway, Dave, before we go to you, Celeste is going to tell everybody what's happening on YouTube.
I miss saying that.
Big D.
Should there be a mandatory age limit for elected politicians in the U.S.? We have a lot of people voting on this one. 1 hour ago is when we posted this. And since then, 78% of you say yes, aggressively enforce mandatory age limits. 1.7 thousand votes on this one. And Dave, I see 78 comments. So this is getting a lot of chatter. Big D.
So many comments on this one, guys, on fox10phoenix.com/.
She saved up a week and a half of those, Dave, so they're coming.
Ben Gilbert says the facts are after age 55 or 60, your mental acuity declines sharply and physically you decline as well. Black American 40 says 80-year-old Trump will try and fight this. X to the K says, as a non-American, I've never understood how the president of a country can be term limited, but every other politician can keep going until they die. And finally, Rabbit Scribe says, term limits, yes, age limits, no. If someone wants to run for office for the first time when they're 70, they should be able to. Don't like it, don't vote for them. Really interesting comments. Keep them coming, guys.
X to the K is... Celeste, it's kind of like what's happening right now with all the Europeans that are over here trying to learn about our stadiums and our cities.
And eat ranch and have free refills at the restaurants.
So here's somebody who's somebody who's coming in from another country and all of a sudden, exactly what he or she was saying made perfect sense to me, right?
Yeah.
You could stay in office in the Senate till you're 98 years old. I think Strom Thurmond did.
Wow.
I believe he was about almost 100.
The one thing it does give them is wisdom and how, this country has operated for many, many decades.
Sure.
You know what I mean? It does give them a little bit more life experience.
Right. And then there was that classic line, Ronald Reagan, in the debate with Walter Mondale. Some people thought he had been a little stodgy in the first debate. And so Walter Mondale is up there ready to go, debate number 2.
Yeah.
And Reagan comes up with that line and says, yes, I'm glad we're talking about age. I will not go ahead and point out how young and inexperienced my opponent is. And it was like the age issue disappeared.
Well, yeah, because, you have to turn, if you turn the table the other direction.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
I hear you.
We're going to be joined now. Let's chat with Alexa at TMZ there in Los Angeles. There's a lot of young people there, Ron,
yes, there
in
are a
LA.
lot of young, no 80-year-olds in that newsroom. I sense some age discrimination. But anyway, let's talk about this Mitch McConnell photo because everybody is.
Yeah, Senator Mitch McConnell. There's been a lot of hubbub about his hospitalization. I mean, he's been hospitalized for the past few weeks now, and not many details have kind of come out as to exactly what landed him in there. And over the weekend, he did release a photo of him and his wife, Elaine, from the hospital, explaining the whole thing, saying it was all from a fall. And he, with the ageist kind of discussion that we're talking about, he said it's kind of embarrassing for their generation to admit, getting old, and he has to admit that he fell and suffered from a fall, and then that landed him in the hospital. Then he gained pneumonia while in there, and so it's just been quite a rough few weeks for him, but he's working on recovering.
So for people who haven't seen it, we're going to pop it up on the screen right now. What is it about this photo that makes them so skeptical? What are you hearing?
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. People are accusing this photo of being AI or distorted in some ways. They're noting that he wore a similar outfit back in 2023, and it's kind of weird that he's in jeans from the hospital. They're talking about the newspaper over to his right that he's holding. It is a recent issue, but they're saying that the lettering looks a little off, that there's a putty substance by his finger. We did our own research, and we did run it through our AI system that kind of detects for photos to see if they are AI generated, but only through OpenAI. And they said that it doesn't seem to be AI, but of course you could use a different platform or some sort of Photoshop. I don't know. Everyone's kind of weighing in on this photo here, but RDC sources do say that it is in fact real and there was no altering or AI used.
It's interesting how people are breaking and kind of scrutinizing this photo just because he has jeans and a shirt from 2023.
Yeah.
Ron, I have dresses from 2010 still.
Let them use an outfit repeater.
I know.
Right.
Thank you. All right,
I have
Alexa.
ties from the 90s.
Like it's so offensive. It's like, okay, because we're not buying new outfits every day.
Right.
You know?
Well,
I know he wanted a little snazzy for the photo. That's why he's in the background.
Yeah. It is interesting, though, because now we're showing the close-up. You know, if he looks that good and that's a legit photo, then good for him.
Yeah.
For sure.
I think part
A
of the
little
statement.
time away helps.
Yeah, I think part of the statement said something that he had polio when he was young.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And so that's
makes
kind
him,
of his physician added a little statement within his statement and said that is kind of where the falling, he's been brought into the hospital multiple times recently for a fall, and that is kind of stemming from that early on diagnosis, but that they're working on making sure that they can somehow get rid of, the constant falls that he has been
Well,
suffering.
somebody pointed out that there is a photo of his hand looking exactly like that from a couple of years ago. So you never know. I mean, there are internet sleuths that are out there, but
sure are.
if you guys ran it through whatever system you have and it looks like it's legit, that kind of settles the debate right there.
For sure. And I mean, hey, you could use a different system. OpenAI is different. There's so many different things now that people use for AI, but our sources do say that it is in fact real as well. So we're believing it, and we hope for the best for him.
We got 1 minute left. Anything else on your agenda today?
I mean, even the Taylor Swift wedding is still on everybody's mind. I don't know about you guys, but
right.
The dust is settled, but we did get photos of Travis touching down in Palm Beach today with a fluffy white dog. This dog has been kind of, the skeptical child between the two right now. They did just spend the weekend here in California for his teammate Juice Schuster's wedding as well. So
The skeptical child.
Yeah.
That's great.
Well, I guess Palm Beach is now Donald Trump International, right?
Oh, yeah,
Palm
that happened while you were on vacation.
to test it out, I guess.
Yeah, I guess it's a new thing. But I'm with you, Alexa. I think a lot of people are still wanting a little bit of everything when it comes to,
There's just
Taylor,
not enough.
Taylor
We need
Swift.
the documentary.
I
Release the
know.
tapes.
Well, have a great day, though. It's so great to see you.
Good to see you.
Okay, thank you. So here's what's coming up on on FTT.
Thank you, Ron.
Now, Celeste, look, this is Philadelphia.
Yeah.
The All-Star Game is going to be played there tomorrow night.
Yep.
The Home Run Derby is tonight. Guess on which channel?
The best.
Fox 10. Okay, a lot more to come, including what you need to know about everybody else setting up these accounts for their kids. Oh, the other thing, since we're talking a little bit of baseball here, that Citizens Bank
Yes.
Ballpark, I love the home run derby.
Oh, that's happening too, Ron.
I can't wait to watch that tonight on Fox 10.
So
how do we get the World Cup,
Yes.
the biggest soccer tournament in the world, and we get the All-Star game?
Yes.
And pretty soon we're going to be having the Cardinals games during the NFL season.
We're just that big of a deal.
And then we have Big Ten football. Come on.
Did you know that, Ron?
We're
We're kind of a big deal in America.
This is what I hear. You know who else is a big deal is our next guest, because we are hoping to get a lot more information to you. There's a thing in the world of money called FOMO.
Yes.
The fear of missing out.
FOMO.
And I have this feeling that people are signing up for these Trump accounts.
Yes.
Maybe your neighbor, maybe somebody down the street, and maybe you don't want to miss out on it. So let's find out what they're all about.
Yeah, this is Elizabeth Hale, CEO of EECPA. Good morning, Elizabeth.
Good morning.
What does that acronym stand for?
Originally, I was Elizabeth Eisenberg,
Okay.
CPA.
Okay, got it.
And shortened it. And then I got divorced and changed my name, my last name back.
But you've been in business for more than 20 years, and
Yes.
you've been getting some questions from clients and helping them kind of work on the Trump account. What is the Trump account for folks who don't know?
The Trump account is supposed to be a brand new way to save for children. So any children born from 2025 through 2028 will get a $1,000 stipend to start the account. But even if the child was born in 2024 or 2020, they can still open a Trump account and get tax deferred savings. And a lot of companies now are matching contributions. You have a $5,000 annual limit that you can contribute, but if you work for a company, say you're a small business owner, the small business can contribute $2,500 towards that $5,000 and deduct it tax-free.
So can anybody set them? Can a parent or grandparent or other family members? Is that the way it works?
Yes. Okay. So the parent or the grandparent has to, or a guardian parent has to set the account up for the minor child.
So let's take hypothetical. What if your kid's 12 years old or 13? Can you still do it?
Yes, and it's still advantageous because, say, for example, they don't want to go to college, they want to buy a first home, they can use the money, like say they have $10,000 saved in there and it grows tax deferred, then they can, invest that in a home, whereas the 529 plan you can only use for education.
So give us the pros and cons then of the Trump account.
I really don't see a lot of cons other than if your child doesn't go to college or they don't buy a home, it ends up turning into an IRA for them at the age of 18. So they can convert it to a Roth and actually have tax-free savings for their retirement and have options to withdraw early without penalty.
And you said the 529 plan you can save in that account.
Right. You can save a lot more in that account because there's no $5,000 annual cap. So if you're grandparents and you want to set aside an education fund, you can fund it up to $91,000 in one single year.
Wow.
Yeah.
And just the power of time, particularly if these are like newborns, or 1 or 2 years old.
Yeah.
Some of the projections I see when they hit about age 20 are almost mind-boggling.
Yes. Even if you put in $5,000 a year every year until they turn 18, it could be $271,000 is the projection on the Trump account.
Wow. That could maybe in some communities buy you a house.
Yes.
In Arizona, I know our housing prices, we just hit a record at $40 million for one household. But in some communities, they're still under that for the average house.
And so then what about, are you able, let's say you put that money in, are you able to control where it gets invested? It's not just going to go to a bank where it earns 0.05%, right? If you want to put it in mutual funds or ETFs, are you able to?
You're able to put it in ETFs. So you start at the Treasury level by getting pre-certified. Then you open up the account, and a lot of, Schwab, all the big banks, Chase, all have programs for this. But then it has to be invested in either ETFs or stock market
indexes, probably,
index funds, because it has to have 0.1% management fee, no more.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. They've thought of everything in this thing,
Yes.
right? Okay.
It's very
Is it a
strict.
fairly simple process before we wrap up with you? Obviously, you have your own clients that come in and see you, but just for everybody who might be watching today, is there a website to go to, or what are the first couple of steps?
Yes, the first couple of steps are to get certified, especially if you had a child between 2025 and now, January 1st of 25 and now, and you go to the Treasury website to do that. So you can log in to the IRS or go to the Trump account and you'll get the links there.
Oh, interesting. It's pretty easy.
Yeah.
Elizabeth, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Do you have a phone number or where you located?
Yes, we are located in Scottsdale Air Park, eecpa.com, and we can be reached at 480-596-8299. Thank you so much.
Yeah, Elizabeth, thank you.
Thanks so much
Appreciate
for coming
it.
in. Hey, by the way, did anybody go to the movies this weekend? Moana. You know, they have a new Moana movie. It's like, can you already improve on perfection, Celeste?
Yeah, it's a live action, Ron.
Yeah, and so it did really well. I mean, it brought in $43 million, which is a pretty good number. $52 million internationally, so it does have that kind of worldwide appeal. But they were saying, the analysts were saying it was a little bit of a disappointment. It didn't quite do the numbers compared to some of the other Disney previous live action films.
Well, just in case you thought, Ron, those muscles weren't real.
Yes.
Now with this live action, you know that Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Oh,
he
is he
lifts
the muscle man in
He
this?
lifts weights.
Wow. Okay, good. Man, his workout time at the gym must
Oh,
be
my
pretty
gosh.
incredible. But Celeste, I have to confess, I went to the movies this weekend and I did not go to that one.
Which one did you see, Ron?
Well, I'm so glad you asked, Celeste, because there I am with my grandkids. So there's my son Jordan and Mason.
Yes.
And Riley. And obviously, you see the popcorn bag. We went to Harkins.
The best. The best. They have the best popcorn.
Well, if you were willing to pony up for the extra large, you get one to take home. You get a refill.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. So, of course, a guy like me is going to take advantage of that.
Absolutely.
You think I was letting go of that popcorn bag? No way.
Absolutely not.
But here's what's interesting. We went to go see the Young Washington movie.
Ooh.
This is an incredible movie, especially coming out of 4th of July, Celeste. I'm no movie critic, but I so highly recommend it because I think most people just think of George Washington as the guy on the dollar bill, and maybe when you were growing up, you had a picture of him in the classroom.
Or he had an apple tree in the back.
Right, and he was 80 years old or 60 or 70, whatever, speaking of older politicians. But this is him in his 20s, and there was great anguish in his life.
Yeah.
I mean, he basically went out into the Pennsylvania countryside.
Yeah.
They built a fort, and he was so green at leading men that they were saying, don't build this fort here. It's at the low spot of, it's the very first rain out here in the wilderness in Pennsylvania. We're going to flood. Well, that place was called Fort Necessity, and Celeste, you better believe I've been to Fort Necessity.
Look at you.
I was driving across the countryside last year, and I saw a sign. I said, Renee, Fort Necessity, I got to go. Little did I know there was going to be a movie about young Washington.
Yeah.
By the way, they've already announced there's going to be a second movie. I think it's going to be like middle-aged Washington.
Well, I was watching a couple of documentaries over the last week. One of them was on Washington. It was on the beginning, and it talked about how he wasn't necessarily the best man to lead the army, the men, the best general, but he was so charismatic that people followed him.
Yeah.
And it was really interesting. It was eye-opening, and it's really great to watch those type of movies and documentaries right around the 4th of July as we're
4th of
celebrating
July.
250. 250 is a big number.
Get this, Celeste. John Netzel and I, we do this Great American Story on the Fox Local app and on YouTube. And if you go to YouTube, you can see that the last episode, we just called it Independence.
Yeah.
And as you know, we've been doing this for a year, more than a year, and we'll get at 400 500, 800, 1,000 views. We had 20,000 views on this most recent one.
Wow, that's awesome.
About American independence.
Yeah.
It's a great episode. I highly recommend going to the movies to see George Washington. I highly recommend you go watch John and me talking about. I was talking to my sis. She came over because she heard about the spaghetti. That I was making.
She was like, "Hello, where's my spaghetti?"
She's like, when I watch that show, I swear you guys have 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 things I never knew before.
Yeah,
whether it's about George Washington or
so many things, to learn about the country. And speaking of, when we were talking about polio earlier, I was also watching another documentary on FDR, and he had polio.
That's right.
Franklin D. Roosevelt
took away his ability to walk.
Yeah, and a lot of children at that time had polio, but he was an adult, and it was quite interesting to see how what he dealt with as a child really developed him into becoming the leader that he was. So that's why it's really interesting, because what we learn from history really kind of prepares us for the future.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Maybe some of our current leaders should watch those documentaries. Maybe they should watch your show with John.
There you go. And then maybe head out after they're done watching it.
Yeah.
For maybe go over to the DQ, get a dipped cone.
That's
Celeste,
what I'm talking
I am
about.
so worried about this story. They are starting to close down some Dairy Queens, not here in Arizona, but in other parts of the country.
Yeah.
Up in the upper Midwest, where it's cold enough that who even thinks about in January going to get a blizzard?
I know. They're like,
dealing
I'm
with
trying
a
to
blizzard.
avoid the blizzard, not eat one.
I do like about once a week or so to go get a dipped cone.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's just such a great treat, that kind of a thing. But they're saying that it's based on compliance issues with corporate. They want these Dairy Queens to, operate somewhat the same. Obviously, they can have different prices and that kind of thing. And I think they've closed some in Texas as well. But let's just hope this is not going to be a situation in Arizona.
I don't think so. You have one out by you in East Mesa.
Sure.
I have one by me on Camelback in Central.
I wish I knew the name of the lady that runs the one in Queen Creek. It's right there on Rittenhouse. She is the friendliest lady.
Wow.
Yeah.
They are very nice. A lot of them are locally owned.
Yes, right. That's a good franchise.
And so if you buy there, the money stays here in the economy.
Correct.
It stays right here in Arizona.
You're getting a free dipped cone every day.
I know.
Celeste, come on,
those dip cones are so good.
What if I told you that the amazing tandem of Ty and Anita are back together again?
I know. I heard the cheers and all the people out in the corner.
Yeah.
There's an in-studio audience, Ron, that are so...
We debuted this last week. We have an audience now.
In studio. Thanks for watching, everyone. Anita and Ty are next. Here we go again.
11 o'clock on the dot, which means Fox 10 Talks is starting.
Hi.
Again.
Happy
well, I guess
Monday.
continuing, not starting. We're starting, but it's already been, you know what I mean.
He's talking to Crystal. She's over here.
Oh, here.
You have your own camera.
Yeah, you do.
We brought Crystal in because it's dusty.
Well, first of all, can we say welcome back?
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Hi. I
Glad to
didn't
have you
even
back
feel like
after
I was
a-
gone. I planned and I made rundowns every single day.
Oh, just because.
You know, I didn't want to lose my touch.
There you go.
You don't
Wow.
want to forget.
No.
You did that while on vacay?
Yes. Yes. Completely.
That explains a lot.
Doesn't it though? Doesn't it? Do you? What's when you get back from vacay? The toughest thing for you?
The alarm clock.
The alarm-
Password.
Boom. That
No.
and sometimes the drive to work.
A 2:10 alarm clock
Yeah.
on a Monday.
Yeah, it's rough.
Brutal.
But the passwords are tough though.
They are.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to start off with Crystal
Correct.
because that monsoon, we're loving this.
Yes.
I was really glad that I washed my car yesterday at 5 o'clock p.m.
That wasn't your best choice that you've ever made.
She was off. She wasn't watching the news.
But
Happening.
I
Right.
hope that it ushers in more rain.
That was my
You
hope.
kind of are giving us that good luck charm
was
we
my hope.
needed.
Yeah.
That was my hope.
Yeah, you know what? We officially had our first measurable amount of rain of this season, which was 1/100th of an inch this morning, but we will take it at Phoenix Sky Harbor. And we are in store for more storm chances pretty consistently throughout the work week. So we're looking at the dew point temperatures because I'm sure we've noticed it is very muggy outside.
It's thick.
It feels like you're kind of swimming through the air. This time of year, any dew point at 60 plus is definitely going to feel just that feels humid. 65 to 70 range is when you're okay, this is almost tropical for us. Now, to be fair, your dew point temperature, depending on what part of the country you're in, a 50 dew point temperature in say, Texas or in this deep south or even up as you go into parts of the mid-Atlantic states, that would be unimpressive. But for us, 50s to 60s is that's humid for us because we usually don't have much moisture in our air. So that is a key ingredient in getting monsoon storms. You have to have a lot of moisture in the air, and we certainly already have that. So if you had a list of things you had to check off before you could have the storms, boop, first check is there. Next thing is you need the right kind of flow. You need some kind of movement, through the state that's going to push those storms up the mountainside. And our flow today is perfect for that. It's kind of a clockwise flow from the southeast part of the state to the northwest part of the state. You can already see it. See how there's a couple little storms firing off on the state line and then over the White Mountains. In fact, we'll zoom in and boop, little thunderstorm that's popped up right near Show Low. So those storms along the White Mountains are the early taste of what is going to be some storms that start in the high country and then roll down the higher elevations towards the valley. Now, what we're looking at currently is the future cast, and the model does show those storms bubbling up as expected in those high terrain areas north and southeast. The question is, will they be strong enough to hold together as they start to roll down the mountainside? The next question is, as they roll down the mountainside, will you get those outflow boundaries that kind of smash into each other right over the valley? Yesterday we had outflow boundaries, but we had one from the north that kind of cleared across almost the entire valley before the outflows or the winds from the south tried to move in. And because of that, there wasn't the destabilization that basically is energetic enough to create storms. So instead, we had a few spotty storms, mostly on the outskirts of the valley. We want them to slam into each other right over us. That gives us the best boom potential. If you like storms, that's what you want. But anyways, this model does show a few showers or storms trying to make their way into the valley. I think that it's going to be still kind of spotty today, about a 20% chance of coverage, just because we did have some showers this morning, so it was a slow to warm kind of start to the day. But either way, the model does show a few showers passing tonight, that 20% chance, and then starting to kind of calm down a little bit overnight and into tomorrow morning. So we're pretty dry as we kick off tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. And then as we head through the day tomorrow, yet again, same general area, thunderstorms fire off north and east, and then those storms start to move into the valley. And the model shows these storms look like they kind of are still packing a punch. I'll rewind it a little bit. There. And you can see that's at 6 o'clock, and it is showing some steadier stuff rolling through. So the chance will be up to a 30% by the time we get into your Tuesday late afternoon and evening. So now let's talk threats. Any monsoon storms have the potential to develop strong, gusty outflows and blowing dust, downpours, and lightning. And will put us at a low moderate risk for today, tomorrow, and Wednesday. By Thursday, the flow shifts to more of a southerly flow, and that's even better for us to see stronger storms just because of the direction of the movement. So for that forecast, we'll up it to more of a moderate leaning towards higher potential. And for now, it's like a 40% chance of storms by Thursday. So we've got chances all the way into the weekend, guys.
We love this.
For
You had a 99 on the 10-day.
By Friday, we should drop into the upper 90s or right near 100.
What everyone doesn't know is all the action and activity that was taking place behind the scenes.
And she remained her composure.
Yes, Dave was literally cleaning equipment.
Yeah.
We were trying to focus on a press conference we're going to talk to and get information, and Crystal's just doing her
I've always said, like, when I'm doing stuff at the green screen, because sometimes someone will be doing something behind the scenes, like, I'm so sorry, did that bother you? And I'm like, literally, unless you were like tap dancing right in front of me, nothing. I'm like in a bubble.
tomorrow. Tap dancing in front of you.
I should never have said that out loud.
You know that, and we're going to get video, and we're going to run it tomorrow at 11 o'clock.
Get ready.
Stay tuned. Thank you so much. So we always talk about what we're watching, and one of the things we're watching is A.G. Mays, and she's having a press conference right now on antitrust.
Can we listen in for just a few seconds here to see what she's talking
releases
about?
And growing dependence on a smaller and smaller number of blockbusters. With fewer films being made, theaters don't have the same opportunities to attract audiences, build consistent schedules, and maintain stable revenue throughout the year. A merger that concentrates two major studios would significantly worsen this already difficult environment. And when Paramount and Warner Brothers operate independently, they invest in wide release and top grossing films, motivating both studios to produce a robust slate of theatrical content. When they merge, those incentives change. Documents associated with...
So right now you are listening to Attorney General Chris Mays giving a press conference about antitrust, and we're obviously monitoring this. We'll have much more on what came out of this press conference on later editions of Fox 10. But let's get to some other headlines.
Let's talk about the pocket fire. This is one that has been burning for quite some time, and
June 19th.
I know.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah, they did say that this was going to be a very long-lasting fire because of the terrain. That's what you're looking at. But a little bit of a sigh of relief in the Sedona area this morning. Fire crews say they're finally turning the tide against this destructive wildfire that has been burning for nearly a month. Evacuation orders in Oak Creek are expected to be downgraded. That's tonight. And then crews are still working to contain it. So they said that the orders are going to go from set to ready. So set means if you get the call, you have to go. Ready means you need to start preparing. Residents should be prepared for the possibility of a threat, continue to have a plan in place, orders upgraded. Danger no longer considered to be as significant as it was. Currently reported to be burned 27,393 acres. And so we're working on that. We've got 862 fire personnel battling this blaze.
And still 76% containment, but they're starting to get the upper hand. All right, what you are reading, these are the top 3 stories on our website, fox10phoenix.com today. And the first one is this man accused of intentionally stabbing his wife more than 20 times at a Mesa apartment complex. A 32-year-old man accused of attempted second-degree murder after stabbing his wife at least 24 times at their apartment complex.
Yeah, victim hospitalized with serious stab wounds, reported to be in stable condition, believe it or not, with non-life-threatening injuries the following day. Mesa police have not released info as to what led up to it. The next one would be Free Arizona Semiconductor Training Program launches as chip industry expands. Basically, 18 and older, U.S. citizen, you can register by July 31st for this free program because they want to get people working in this.
And then the number 3, oops, that's not it. Hold on, sorry. Oh no, I showed the answer.
That's
I didn't
okay.
See it, though.
We didn't see it. I didn't see it. Nope, we did not see it. If you saw it, don't play.
Don't play. Yeah.
Don't play.
Don't cheat.
Don't cheat.
Okay, then second one. Or
Trenton
the third
saw
one.
it. He's smiling like a cat.
I know
that ate
nothing.
the canary.
Saw nothing.
This is obviously that story that we continue to follow about that. Can you say? I always get the name wrong. Cyclosporiasis.
Yeah, you nailed it.
I believe we call it explosive diarrhea.
That's exactly what it is.
Does that still make you giggle though, even as an adult?
It's amazing.
It is. Well, it's not.
I believe my kindergarten teacher said I had a problem with bathroom humor. It has not gone away.
And it hasn't gone away, Trent.
No.
Is it
Couldn't flush it. Couldn't kick it. Sorry,
You
guys.
should use that for your Friday funny. That was good, Trenton.
I don't know. It might be a sensitive topic to some people. But we have to be really careful. Berries.
Yes, lettuce,
Vegetables.
Taco Bell.
And,
Yeah, they got rid of like a lot of their veggies.
They did.
Yeah.
Dave is
Yep.
laughing back there.
But it's true.
Taco Bell literally took like guac, lettuce, onions, pico de gallo off the
their
menu.
menu.
Yes.
Because you don't have to worry about the burritos.
No, that's not the only thing burning.
Oh boy.
But you can, if you get sick, we had a doctor on this morning. Now it can take 2 weeks before you get this.
Yes.
We have to get to him.
I'm just excited about
For
it.
the next segment,
Yeah.
we're told.
Yeah.
But I think it's important to say if you get sick, it could be up to 2 weeks after you eat this food.
Right.
And it's
People don't know what.
and it's
Doesn't go away.
But it continues for several days.
Yes.
So if you have explosive diarrhea for several days, go to the doctor.
But the point is, you have to wait days. Yes, days before you can go to the doctor.
And it could take potentially a week to 2 weeks for you to actually get symptoms. So like
Yeah.
contact tracing, you're trying to figure out where this is coming from.
Right.
So,
There's no running away from it.
yeah. He said these jokes stink. Man, everybody's really getting
Tough
on
crowd.
board
There are
with
all
this
these
story.
memes on Instagram with
Yeah.
people buying berries saying, on my way to eat berries to get diarrhea to get to my
Goal weight.
and lose 30 pounds.
You think there's better ways
Yeah.
to lose weight these days, but
Wash your produce, says
Yeah,
Dave.
yeah.
Wash your produce. Some humor that just sticks with you.
yes, amazing.
Or doesn't.
Oh. Well, I'm sticking around to talk about whatever you guys want to on this segment. so-
Well,
Do you want to play our game?
let's do that, and then we'll talk about the next segment.
Amazing.
So
Okay.
this is What Year Was It? Have you played with us before?
I have not.
Okay,
I'm
so
excited.
Have you seen that cartoon character of us?
No, but it's so accurate and amazing.
Queen performs at Live Aid.
1984.
Okay, good guess.
I don't know why.
I have no idea.
I don't know what Live Aid is.
Okay.
It was the big fundraiser.
The big-
Yeah, stop
Oh,
AIDS.
okay.
Okay. I'm gonna go.
That's what I
feel
thought.
like the maybe early, or rather late 70s.
Oh, wow. Okay, bold. I'm going to say,
It's kind of a wide-ranging.
yeah, 86.
Okay.
Maybe I'm wrong. 85, 86.
Okay.
86.
Okay.
So lock in your.
We're locked in.
guesses. And then we will tell you what the answer is coming up after a quick break. We'll also have Trenton here.
Wow.
Know that he was here.
That's a tease. Yeah.
He's still here.
Oh, goodness gracious, help us.
Aren't you glad to be back? in here?
Yeah.
All right. We'll be right
Yeah.
back. Get those answers locked in.
Okay, here's the answer.
Well, we have to give the question again. You read it again. Go ahead.
When did Queen perform at Live Aid?
And
the answer
is...
I was so
wow!
close.
Didn't you say mid-80s?
You said 86.
Yeah, I said 86.
Oh, you were close.
I was close enough.
We got okay, Arizona Blondie, nice work.
All
And
right.
Emily Gonzalez, nice work.
Good job, you guys.
Wow.
Yeah, good
Give
job.
yourself a point. Keep track at home.
I agree. Outlaw said, hope no one cheats. I agree. I hope no one cheats.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, Trenton
Fierce penalties.
is one of our executive producers. And Trenton, you wanted to continue the talk about this.
I just can't shut up about it. Right. Amazing.
It's like diarrhea of the mouth.
Yeah, that's what
So you
I
and
believe
your-
my last review said that. Yeah,
You and your
funny
wife
enough.
dated for how long before you married?
So we were together 6 months before we got married.
Wow.
Through with it. Yeah, it was
Look
very
at
quick.
you.
We knew.
You're not afraid of commitments.
No, not at all.
Okay.
No, we're in it. So we go on our honeymoon, and we did this is the first and last time we decided to go with a cruise.
Yeah.
So did the cruise. It was gifted. It was fine.
Okay.
We we're not really cruise people. We found out. So thought everything was great. We went to Mexico and then Honduras and Belize.
Ooh.
It was great destinations.
Yeah.
Wonderful people, and we made sure to take precautions of like one does with
Didn't drink
drinking
the
local water
water.
sources, etc. But what we missed out on is we went to a place that the cruise line set up. That was their own location. Blah,
like
blah,
that
blah.
little private island they
Yeah,
do.
kind of like that.
Okay.
And we had ice from there, and that's where we got it. So we got this very parasite.
The
And-
exact one.
Right. No, we didn't know about it at the time.
Yeah.
We came back carrying said parasite, kind of like the plot from Alien, and then it erupted in our honeymoon bliss at home. And that was a long couple months, but we got to know each other really well. Yeah, there was nothing secret.
Speaking about that story,
Marriage has never been the same. It's been wonderful.
it really brought you guys closer.
But
Yes, the
parasite
ties
is
that
gone.
bind. You
The
can.
parasite is gone.
So far, we know. Yeah.
So far, so good.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so there's a new documentary speaking about cruising.
Yes.
About the Costa Concordia. That was that cruise ship that hit that island
Yes.
of rocks off the coast of
2012, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, in Italy.
If you haven't seen it, it's
Oh,
on
I'm
Netflix.
Googling this.
Yeah,
Actually,
incredible.
insane. Because I didn't know. I mean, we saw the images. And
Yes.
it was like on its side, but I didn't realize how dire it was for those passengers that were
Yes.
actually on board.
Oh,
Right.
Yeah, I
Yeah, it was
remember.
2012, you're right.
Horrible.
Okay.
Yeah.
7-year-old Costa Cruises vessel.
Yeah.
There's a new documentary on Netflix. I watched it this weekend. It was
Yeah.
actually really fascinating and scary at the same time. So
It
now I'm
is.
kind of on your. I don't think I'm booking a cruise.
No, and
We took a cruise. That was one of our first
Sure.
vacations as when we started dating, and it was a very old ocean liner that sailed from France to New York. They built it in '63, and as we were walking around on it, my now husband's like, "Is this safe?" Like he's kind of looking at like some of the welding because he does that. He
Sure.
likes to do that. And we got back, and I think it was like a month later. My co-anchor at the time said, "Weren't you just on a cruise?" And I said, "I was." And he goes, "What was it called?" And I told him, and he said, "It just blew up." And yeah, I'm not kidding.
Wow.
The SS Norway, the
Yes,
Norwegian
because I just
cruise.
I did a deep dive on that because
Yeah,
8 people died.
yes.
Oh my
Engine had
goodness.
exploded.
The end, and it was in dock.
What?
They were at dock,
That's
but it was like crew
horrible.
members. But yeah. Can you believe
Wow.
that? So I won't ever cruise.
yeah, that's a good call. People don't
That's
realize, you
That's me.
take your life in
I'm
your
not saying
hands
it's
going
bad.
there.
Yeah.
Right. Anything can happen. Open waters.
All right.
Yeah.
Trenton, thanks for
Yeah.
enlightening us.
It's been fun.
Stories.
I wanted to talk about Mitch McConnell real quick, but
sure.
if we have
Okay.
time,
I think we have
that was
time.
kind of the whole point.
There's no
But-
transition.
Yeah, well, it's all right. It's all right. So this photo, kind of in speculation, that's been going on for most of the month. Mitch McConnell, senator from Kentucky, the former Senate Majority Leader, he's alive and well. He says, doing fine. There was a lot of rumor that went out. The first big one that happened was from Laura Loomer. She is one of the president's confidants, who was saying that her sources at the White House said that Mitch McConnell was brain dead after suffering a cardiac arrest that had happened. NBC reported on the scanner traffic on July 1st, and I think that's kind of a big important lesson of like why we don't do that, is that until we get confirmation from authorities about exactly what the call was, there's a lot of rumor and traffic that can go out and speculation. And then certainly in his situation where he said that he had suffered a fall and it required hospitalization because then he got pneumonia and then he was in a rehab facility where he's at right now. You know, things can happen when people are older, and it's kind of interesting with that. But now we live in an age of AI, and I think a lot of people went after this photo immediately and said that, you know, the way his hands were indenting the paper there, I think it was the sports section of the Washington Post, that clearly that had to be AI, but there's been no proof that that happened at all.
I feel like they put that paper in the picture intentionally as kind of like a proof of
100%. Yes, yeah, very, very smart.
Well, there's even video of him allegedly getting rolled out into the ambulance.
Exactly.
So,
yeah,
you know, there's some. We were. I think it was. I don't remember what day it was last week, but my husband was reading. He's like, it says Mitch McConnell passed away, and and I'll be honest.
That was really bad.
I'll be honest with you. When I saw, I was actually up. When they did the news alert, like when they first broke in with Lindsey Graham's news, and I thought when they were doing the news alert, I thought,
maybe that was
something happened with Mitch.
Yeah, that was the Hill that put that out. It was a draft copy. It's a draft, and then it was his obituary. So, you know, it can happen even.
News organizations have those ready, believe it or not.
They do, yes.
They have reels, but anyway, that's a whole different
ready
topic.
to go. But
okay,
anyways, thanks,
Come
guys.
back tomorrow to give us
Appreciate
an update on the.
Yeah. All cleared out,
bug
all not? Right, where we at?
Yeah.
Okay. Been fun.
You want to do a hot girl walk or?
No.
Well, I wasn't sure. He was just kind of hanging out, waiting.
Well, our next guest, this is so exciting, you guys.
I know, hi.
There is a new Western that is out. And guess what? We have one of the individuals that helped put this film out into production.
Hello.
Joining us here on set, we have Mr. Paul Winters. Mr. Winters, welcome.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Forgive us if we go awry. It happens sometimes.
I'm with you.
So, Mr. Winters, tell us about this movie. I'm going to play that trailer again so folks can see it.
Okay.
But tell us a little bit about what this is all about.
Well, it's a classic Western. We shot it down at Mescal movie set where they shot Tombstone. And so all the actors, we were all excited about that. But it's a story I wrote 24 years ago. It was almost greenlit a couple times in L.A., and it finally got made. So it's like a classic Western, you know, Americana drama, and full cast. We brought in actors from everywhere.
I love that you said you wrote it 24 years ago.
Yeah.
And it almost. That is such a great lesson of perseverance.
Yeah.
Don't give up. Keep following that train.
Yeah, that's true. You can't quit. It's a story that I was really behind, and I just waited, and I play an outlaw looking for a better life, and I figured the older I get, the better it's going to be, and it turned out I was the perfect age.
See?
Yeah, so
walk me through like the process of something like this. Obviously, you mentioned it took a while to get greenlit. What is that like, the waiting, I guess, for someone to give you that yes?
Well, I was in Hollywood for a number of years as an actor and a producer. I worked for the studios. I did acting. So I would pitch, and then they'd let you go. Like we did a big pilot for Paramount, CBS. They anointed us and gave us the money. Well, I got sick of that. So I moved to Arizona and started my own independent production company, and we greenlit it. So,
well, congratulations.
Yeah, wow. What is the process then of writing a movie? TV shows probably a little bit different, but how long is the film?
1 hour 52 minutes.
And that's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a big story. Yeah.
What is the story? What's the process then of putting it all together? Did you have the entire storyline finished in your head, or does it unfold and develop as you're going?
Well, I've always been a storyteller, and I've been making movies for quite a while. And this one, I did after another one I had done right before I left LA, but it's a great story, and for me, I love the classic Westerns when I was a kid, and it puts all those things together, you know, and it's like the only American, it's our genre, Westerns, you know what I mean? The British, they have Shakespeare, but we have Westerns, you know, and I think it's good we remember that. But it's a great story, and it just felt right, and I put it in, and it just is, and it's so big. I mean, the trailer I can't even get everybody in there. It's a story that all the characters weave together, and we brought people from all over Maine. We brought them from California, all over. Some really good actors too.
How long did it take to shoot?
We started last year. We shot in the snow. There's some snow.
I saw the snow scene, yeah.
That was real.
That
was up in the rim.
Oh, really?
And we went up, we needed snow. We said, it's going to snow today. So we brought up the horses, and it started snowing. I said, that's not. Then it started to snow. and snow.
You're like, wait a minute, this is Arizona.
Yeah, we were just frozen. But to look at it, I've never seen that much. Maybe in McCabe and Mrs. Miller, but it's huge. And then we shot for like a little over about a month, on and on. And then a lot of second unit stuff. We go out. There are a lot of beautiful shots in here. Not that makes it a good movie, but it adds to it. And a lot of productions, they have to get the meat of it, and they don't get those shots. But we own our own cameras, so we were able to go up with the horses. And on a regular show, you couldn't say, hey, we're going to go.
Yeah.
They're going to say, what are you, nuts? You can't do it. So, but it turned out so well. Like, movies are magic, and this one had the magic. It really did.
And I love that you're bringing back the Western, because as you mentioned, there's not a whole lot of movies today that you see are that classic Western style.
Yeah, and I see that for sure. And I think it's a very misrepresented scope of people. They want to see this West. Like when we're going out now, and it's going to open tomorrow in Tucson, and then here on Friday. But people are like so excited. I mean, they're lining up. We're almost sold out in Tucson. But people like these stories, and I don't know. Hollywood has kind of played tricks with the Western of late. I mean, but whatever. To each his own, right?
We've got about a minute left.
Yeah.
How can folks see this?
It'll be in the theaters. It opens in Pollock Theater Friday and Saturday. You go to flixwest.com to buy tickets, and then same with Tucson is tomorrow and at the Galaxy Theater, and Flix West will also stream it when it's going to stream in the fall.
Do you have a favorite scene you want people to really watch out for?
Oh, just, every day was just a treat. I mean, I love them all. They're like all my children.
I love that.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
Winters,
Thank you. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having
what
me.
A treat. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you very much.
We didn't get off the rails.
No, we didn't.
Okay, coming up tomorrow, core inflation rate info will be released for the month of June.
And then, of course, the 96th MLB All-Star Game is going to be played in Philadelphia. So those are some of the stories that we are going to be watching out for tomorrow. In the meantime, thanks so much for hanging out with us here on Fox 10 Talks at 11 o'clock. It continues right now with Des and Ron, and then we'll be back tomorrow.
Another jam-packed show. Bye, guys.
Awesome.
Thank you.
All right,
that
thank
was
you.
wonderful. Thank you.
Well, there you go. A live view of Jim Thorpe, Pennsylvania. It's kind of on my bucket list, Des. Someday I hope to get there. There's a lot to explore in Pennsylvania.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Look at how green.
Right.
Some hiking.
I don't know. I was just watching a news conference live from D.C. I think it's only a couple hundred miles outside of D.C. What's that, Des?
Starting now.
Oh, okay, Dave, hang on one sec. Des, we have a live news conference coming in.
Okay, what about?
Well, we just learned that there has been an arrest made in the disappearance of Ariana Jones. She's been missing since the 5th of July. Let's tune in for a moment.
Of 24-year-old Dominic Rodolico. We believe that the two of them had been in communication with one another through some social media channels, and then they met for a date of some type. The two were seen at a movie together and then ended up in this remote area where we believe this crime took place. I can tell you that when we have interviewed Mr. Rodolico, he is not claiming to be involved with this situation. Instead, he is saying that the two of them were in this remote area and that two individuals showed up and attacked them. And at some point, he made his escape, and Miss Jones stayed behind, and he believes that that's how this all took place. We have sufficient enough evidence to believe that Mr. Rodolico is the person responsible, and he is facing homicide charges. So with that, I'll open it up to questions. Yes. I saw that out of the corner of my eye.
All right, well, we'll keep our eye on this one, Des, as it unfolds. But this is a case that, there was a heartbreaking post on Facebook.
Still pulling a lot of the forensic evidence.
Yeah, that her mom posted, and it's so heartbreaking. She said she posted on Facebook, "They just called me. They found my baby's body." Oh, God, please give me the strength. I can't even breathe right now.
Yeah, that is devastating. It's no news that a mother wants to hear. So, of course, we will continue to follow the latest. It sounds like they do have a suspect in custody that they are taking a look at, potentially facing charges for this.
Hey, we're also keeping an eye, of course, on what's going on with the weather. Man, did we have a sunrise this morning. It was quite beautiful. But if you were driving around in certain parts of the valley, take a look. There's the I-10 at Miller Road. It seemed like the West Valley really got socked with the dust storm. Upper left corner, by the way, that is the tower cam up there on South Mountain. And then lower left, that's just us driving around in the rain. Then Cameron Lear fires up the phone, provides us that video. And did you get very much last night? We got a few raindrops and it came and went.
Yeah, I'm such a hard sleeper, but yeah, I woke up and everything was wet, so there you go.
Right.
We got something.
Yeah. All right. Well, Crystal told us it may not be too dramatic today. That did some of the storms, even into the morning hours, kind of took some moisture out of the air. But tomorrow afternoon could be something to watch. So there is a story that Des and I have been talking about for the last almost week, I guess now, about Katie Couric, once known as America's Sweetheart, as the host of the Today Show, back in the days with Bryant Gumbel, as a matter of fact. And when she stepped forward to say that she was experiencing amnesia, she couldn't remember what year it was, she couldn't even remember who the President of the United States was, It just raised a lot of questions.
Yeah, absolutely. And it happened for quite a bit of time, too. It wasn't just
right.
A
Not
couple
5 minutes, no.
or a half hour, even an hour. It lasted almost all day. So, yeah, we're speaking with a neurologist this morning.
Yep. We did reach out to Dr. Akash Doshi, who is a neurologist here in town. Doctor, thanks for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
How common is what happened to Katie Couric to other people?
In fact, it's not that common. The incidence is about only 3 to 8 per 100,000 population.
So why does it happen?
So generally it happens from physical or emotional stress, sometimes high altitude or any sudden change in temperature.
Okay, but dive more into, so what is this, what was it called specifically that she was impacted by?
So it's called transient global amnesia, in which you have a memory problem. It's transient memory problem. They have a difficulty remembering recent things, and it's generally pretty benign condition, and their memory comes back within 24 hours.
All right. So if somebody experiences an episode like this, what should they know and what should they do?
So whenever you see this kind of episode, always call 911 and go to the emergency, because this could be a sign of stroke as well.
All right.
Wow. So, okay, go ahead, Rob.
No, you go for it.
I was just going to ask, so if you're an individual who's had this episode, does this make that person even more susceptible to this happening again, or even more susceptible to a stroke?
So this is pretty rare condition, and the recurrent rate is even lower. Like the recurrent rate is about 15% as per New England Journal of Medicine.
Oh, okay. So so it's very possible this happened to her, yes, but it will never happen. Could never happen again. Very slim.
So the chances are about 15%.
Okay. Well, I want to give you an opportunity to kind of expound. We know you've got a lot of knowledge about this kind of thing. So just in terms of, is this becoming more and more of a problem, or has it just always been there and we don't talk about it very much? Now we do because it was a well-known person. Or how common? Well, you told us the numbers are really quite low, but is this something to be worried about? Particularly if you have episodes where maybe for 5 minutes you kind of blank out. You're like, I can't remember the name of the person that I work with. You know, those. How can you determine between the two?
So this condition is pretty dramatic. So they have a problem like remembering things. They don't know what the month and a year, and they also have a problem with recent memories. They don't know what they did this morning. And it's pretty dramatic. It happened all of a sudden out of nowhere.
So what do you think about Katie Couric's case in particular? I mean, Ron and I think maybe some of the general public watching that heard about what happened to her are also stunned that this episode lasted a long time, like we mentioned. I mean, 5 minutes or 10 minutes, maybe it would be less worrisome, maybe even to her. But the fact that it lasted almost a full day, is that typical?
So generally it lasts about 6 to 24 hours, but almost the memory comes back within 24 hours.
Really? And this person can move forward with no other episode and no other challenges to remembering even the littlest of things?
So they know who they are. They also recognize their family members, but they just don't know where they are. So they keep repeating the same question over and over, like, where am I and what am I doing here?
Yeah. Well, we talk a lot about how heart attacks and strokes are two of the top either 3 or 4 causes of death in this country. Maybe you could give us some encouraging words in terms of both stroke treatment for somebody who's had a stroke, in terms of trying to regain their strength or eliminating some of the kind of, I guess, neurological issues that come out afterwards, that type of thing. And in terms of maybe advancements to prevent stroke.
So to prevent the stroke, the main thing is to control the blood pressure and also the cholesterol and the diabetes. These are the 3 major factors which can also increase the risk of stroke.
And then the other part of the question, what about treating afterwards and maybe some encouraging signs there? Give us the latest developments.
Absolutely. So with this stroke, generally recently, I would recommend the rehab. And extensive rehab in first 3 to 6 months can definitely increase the chances of recovery.
And what does rehab look like?
So it's there are different kind of rehab, like inpatient rehab, also a skilled nursing facility. And the inpatient rehab, they do physical therapy, occupational therapy, and also the speech therapy. And ultimately, overall, they can improvise the deficit.
Well,
All right.
Yeah.
Well, and to leave our viewers with some advice, some tips. What can we do? Eat, whether it be working out, physically, what can we do to improve our overall, not just health, but our brain health in particular?
So I would recommend 30 minutes of exercise every day, and also like a healthy diet, like not a fried food and not a lot of heavy red meat.
Well, there goes the fried food, Des. Darn it. Anyway. All right, Doc.
French fries, Doc.
Once in a while, right? Okay,
Moderation.
Dr. Akash Doshi. Thanks for your time today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so then, Des, a couple other stories here before we go to break.
I was going to say the good takeaway is that having an episode, similar to Katie Couric's then is very slim. That this is just seems very rare and odd to have happened to her, but glad she's okay.
Yeah.
That would be scary.
And when it does happen, like that was a great question you asked, it sounds like you just are able to make a full recovery, but hey, reach out to somebody.
Yeah.
If you're starting even to experience something along that line. Okay, so let's talk just a little bit about this development here of this story about living with mom and dad. And so, we look for these stories that we think, okay, you guys are probably going to be interested in something like this. And while moving out of your parents' home is a milestone, many are opting to stay there. It's not a setback, they say, but a financial strategy. According to the research, about 1 in 3 adults now under the age of 35 are under their parents' roof.
Wow.
When is the day? What's like a reasonable time frame? I get that rents are crazy. The cost of housing is nuts. And so I think a lot of parents might be like, you can come back if you're after you graduate from high school, but I'm not sure I want you to live in here full time. Or do you have a game plan? How about you stay here for the next year or two and save up enough money that you can have a down payment for a house?
Yeah. I mean, that's such a difficult, situation to navigate. I mean, I know someone near and dear to me, they are doing all they can, working a great job, decent salary, and, it's still hard for them.
Break time, Mystery Cam.
I know. Oops, I'm like, I got an mystery in the
Well, hello there, Crazy Train. Jumping in with a Glendale guess, but Arizona Blondie Crazy Crew is saying, wait a minute, you guys, I think it's Pennsylvania.
Yep. And then a little farther up in the Little Philosophy says, this is Texas.
Okay, and then Brandon says, that is Vermont if I've ever seen it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. All right, so we're a little all over the place.
Yeah, we are.
I don't know. I'm going to go with a Little Philosophy on this one.
Okay,
and
now
say Texas.
You are going to go Texas.
Sure.
I am going to therefore say Arkansas.
Arkansas?
Because I think I remember this camera from like a year and a half ago, Des.
Oh,
I
my goodness.
believe it might be Texarkana.
Okay.
Which is half in Texas.
Ron, I feel like we could just interview you. So, what do you do for your brain health? Because how are you remembering a mystery camp from a year and a half ago?
A good night's sleep.
Wow. What is that? When my kids are all so what?
Yeah, that'll happen in about 21 years from
Wonderful.
now, Des. Unless you guys only have 4.
Only.
So I don't know.
Yeah, you're right.
If
it's
you're thinking about it. Anyway, all right. Enough of the kidding around here.
Take care of me when I'm older.
I'm sure they will.
They better.
Okay, D3's going straight to the league, Des, so he's going to make millions. Anyway, I think it might be Texarkana. So you say Texas, I say Arkansas.
Okay.
This could be the only day in the history of this program that we have different answers and we're both right.
Right.
I'm hoping.
All right, Outlaw Dynamo with the Texas as well.
Okay.
Oh, it's Texarkana, Arkansas. So are we all kind of right?
Okay, we did.
Look at that.
And if I'm correct, Des, I believe it runs right through the middle of that street.
Oh.
That's what I'm thinking. That's why the one stuck out to me. So anyway.
Okay, cool. There you go.
Oh, boy.
Maybe now I'll remember that a year and a half later.
So far, we have been just kind of reliving today's show already.
I know. But we ended before we went to a quick break there. We lost track of time a little bit. About adults living with their parents. So it was 1 in 3 adults under the age of 35 are still under their parents'
Seems
roof.
like a big
I was just
number.
saying that I know someone close to me in life who is doing everything right. I mean, working a great job, salary is good, there's benefits, but after they pay the bills, there's just not much left. So they feel like they're in this rut of renting and barely surviving just to do that. So then to look at a house, that is very costly, more than what rent would be, it's disheartening. So hopefully we can fix, these numbers somehow.
I have all these random thoughts, Des, and I had a random thought this morning. I was looking at a big apartment building, and I thought, so that guy that owns that apartment building is getting rich because everybody's paying him rent. But if you can just afford to get into a house, that's how you build equity.
Right.
And, this whole, you may have to stay there for 10 years, but you pay the mortgage down, and then you're the one that's building some wealth.
Because part of that study is that there is a large percentage of them that are working full-time jobs.
Yeah.
So it's not that they're, stuck home and not working. They are, and it's still that difficult. So
the one thing is they do still have, especially I think for first-time home buyers, those low interest or the low down payment loans of 3%.
Oh,
and that maybe is a good way to
that's a good incentive.
Get started on it. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Anyway, what if we were able to bring Sarah Binder on?
That'd be great.
I think so, too. She's a well-known political science expert. She joins us this morning. Hello, Sarah.
Hi there. Thanks for having me.
Tell us where, I see your office there. This looks exactly like mine at home. Tons of books, of which, I haven't read all of them yet anyway. But tell us where you are. Give us a little bit of your background, and then let's start talking Lindsey Graham.
Sure. I'm a professor of political science here at George Washington University and a senior fellow at the Brookings Institution, a think tank across town, and I study Congress.
Wow, that's great.
Wow, incredible.
Okay, so when you woke up to the news Sunday morning, were you as sort of shell-shocked as the rest of us? I mean, talk about a guy in his early 70s who's just constantly on the move. I mean, he literally travels the world. In terms of the loss of Lindsey Graham, what kind of an impact are we talking about?
Well, I think it's not an overstatement to say that Senator Graham's loss will be felt in the Senate. He played a pretty pivotal role for someone who's not a party leader, for someone who was both and sometimes an intense partisan, very close to Donald Trump, but also good friends across the aisle, who's always in every bipartisan gang on big policy issues. So we often think that, a senator dies unexpectedly or retires, maybe he'll be missed, but people will miss Lindsey Graham.
You know, how was he able to operate as truly one of the biggest supporters for President Trump on Capitol Hill, and yet there was so much about him where he loved actually working with people who were across the aisle from him. I mean, Cory Booker comes forward to tell the story of there was a bill that was working its way through, and Lindsey said, just give me some time here. I forget what the actual bill was, but there were some things that Senator Booker thought were important to work in. And eventually, Senator Graham went to the president and said, you need to look at these 3 or 4 issues that my Democrat friends are bringing to me. So my question is, was he able to operate that way when it feels like there really aren't that many people doing that anymore up on the Capitol Hill?
So it's a great question. Keep in mind, Lindsey Graham had been on Capitol Hill for a long time. First elected in '94, a stint in the House. You had a photo of him up there when he looked quite younger, early in the '90s, and then moving to the Senate. He had long-term relationships both within the Republican Party as well as across the aisle. And there's something, as political scientists, we like to look at big structural factors like elections and the economy and so forth. But you can't lose sight of these individual relationships that lawmakers try to build, or many of them try to build. Why did this work? How could he be both playing golf with Donald Trump on one day and working with Cory Booker on another? Democrats trusted him, as well as fellow Republicans. And if you trust the person, that makes possible these sorts of bipartisan deals, even if you don't agree with each other on most of the issues of the day.
Mm-hmm. And moving forward, I don't want to say how does someone fill his shoes, but how do politicians in South Carolina now looking forward in replacing him? Do you think the hope would be to try to replace someone as similar to him who tried to work both sides, or what do you see for that seat that's now open?
I think it would be an extraordinary rare to find someone who immediately fills the shoes of Lindsey Graham in terms of that array of relationships on Capitol Hill. Much more likely the replacement, whoever gets elected in November, the replacement will look like other Republican senators from the South who are both a strong incentive to be responsive to conservative voters and to MAGA voters. And so you'll see someone who looks much more like other Republicans in the South than someone like Lindsey Graham.
So let's talk just a little bit about the Mitch McConnell situation and then take one step back in terms of what the future holds for the Senate. Lindsey Graham was running for re-election. Mitch McConnell was just about to wrap up his career in a few more months. As you look at both of those two really kind of lions of the Senate that are now one gone and one soon to be gone, does it make it harder for the Republicans to hold on to power, or is the fact that Kentucky is a very red and South Carolina is a very red state not make that much of a chance of a political earthquake happen?
Well, I think it's important to keep in mind that even with Senator Graham and even with Mitch McConnell on Capitol Hill, the Republicans have a very fragile majority, certainly, especially in the House, but even a little bit on the rocks in the Senate. And so even if Senate Republicans were at full strength, 53 Republican senators, they'd be having difficulties, as we saw just a couple weeks ago. They're struggling to get spending bills done. There's a big disagreement, even amongst the Republicans, about a defense spending request from President Trump. And of course, voters are a bit disillusioned if you look at President Trump's approval ratings. And so this is a tough time. It's a tough time for Republicans, just as it's a tough time for any majority going into midterms once the president's popularity plummets.
Okay. So would you say where would you put the odds right now? Are we I could easily see a split Senate, a 50-50 Senate. Or do you think just because there's, the party that won the election 2 years ago, midterms, they don't do very well? I don't know if you're a betting person, but if you had to put the odds on it, are we looking at a Democrat Senate in about 6 months?
Well, first, I'm not a betting person.
I don't know that I want.
But if I were, I think if you look at these prediction markets, that'll tell you maybe 50-50, but really Republicans have a slight edge. And I think the difficulties Democrats have been facing with finding a candidate in Maine, a really strong Democratic disagreement going on in Michigan, those are going to cut into Democratic chances. So, but we're a couple months out. Voters aren't really focused like we are, and probably won't be focused until we get past Labor Day. So one never knows how this election will turn out.
Well, this is great. Sarah, we really like you.
I'll find out. Yeah, Sarah.
Hope you'll come chat with us again sometime.
Anytime. Always happy to chat.
Thanks.
Yep.
That was super cool.
Yeah, she was great.
Okay. I wanted to ask her about some of those books on the bookshelf back there.
Oh, what she's reading?
Yeah.
There were a lot. You have just as many? Probably more.
I have a lot of books. I don't know. My grandson was in there saying, have you read all these books? I'm like, not even close. About maybe half.
What do you do? Just buy them and put them on the bookshelf?
I buy them with good intentions.
Yeah.
And then I buy another one. Well,
Renee said, no more books until you read all the ones on the bookshelf.
She has had that combo with me, that's for sure. Des, is it really possible we have to wrap up already?
It is. That's it for a Monday.
Fastest 30 minutes
Hope
into
you've
biz.
had a great start to your week, you guys.